Hello people! Thought I would show you a small function I found out. There's a million settings in Orca Slicer, and I think this also works for Bambu, but you can try it. When you're printing things like this with supports, usually you get the let me see, the interface pattern here is the one that sort of decides the look of the first layer of the supported part. So if you look here on the preview, I'm going to slice it here. Let me see here. So you can see you have it here, and then I have PETG in red, and the white one is PLA. Now you can see you come up to here, and then it writes the first layer. Now, as you can see here, you have these tiny gaps. And if you saw the video I posted yesterday about first layer and changing that, then this is sort of an abbreviation or a change of how to do that, but for the first layer after a support interface, because this will look kind of stringy when you have like with the standard settings. You get sort of the pattern of the interface here. I prefer to use a rectilinear interlaced because it changes the pattern to be sort of, it fills the edges more than it would normally do. So you can say here, if you use, for instance, rectilinear, you slice it, you often get small gaps near, like here, compared to the rectilinear interlaced, which will basically go zigzag back and forth every second layer, and that's why it sort of becomes as thorough as possible. And in addition, when I do that, in this case I will do that on the interface, and I prefer to use at least 4 interface layers, because the 2 first ones is like kind of rough, and then it's the third one is kind of smooth, and the fourth one and the fifth one are like super smooth, and then it can print the PLA on top of that. So the red ones, the red part sort of requires a little bit of PETG interface layers, and I prefer, as I said, to use rectilinear interlaced, because it sort of it interlaces the layers like this, sort of. Now, what is the thing here is, if you do that, that's the first thing to get a really nice surface on the first layer after the interface layer. Let's see if I can find a bad version of that. If I have it here, let me see. Here is a good example. I do not know if you can see that. Hang on, I'll get a picture. There, I just had to download a picture. So here you can see this is like a typical top surface, how it would look like when this is like the first layer after the interface layer. In this case, you can clearly see the layer lines, and it's not so smooth, even though you have the smooth interface support. Now, there is a way to make this even smoother, and I found, sorry, this is taking a little bit of a while, I found that the setting for this is actually under, I don't think you can adjust it here. Yes, you can. So for this part, if you see here, let's go to the first layer. So now it's sliced like that. If you go and change the value for what is called internal solid infill, Now this is considered internal solid infill. And if you saw my other videos on the first layer, you'll know that if you change this, notice how many times it has printed here. If you change this to like 0.2 when I'm using a 0.24 nozzle, and I reslice it, let's see, you can see you get a lot more prints. I don't think I can go much lower. Let's say 18. I don't think I can go that low. And this will be super smooth. But in addition, you will have kind of a rough edge. So if you wanted to do the same for the walls, you would actually have to change the walls to the same. That is going to be kind of insane because it will take a lot of time to print. And here you can see you also changed the size of the walls, and the walls will be super smooth. You can even see it here on the layer height that is super smooth. This would make for a really nice print, but it would be slow because when you go this low, it needs to stretch the lines, as I said. You also need to reduce the speed. Like here, you would need to reduce that to like 10. Otherwise, it will look crap. At least that's my experience. You may have a different printer where you can manage to do faster, but for me, I need to go down to 10 on those. So I just wanted to share that if you want to have prettier first layers after a bridge or after an interface layer, then there are two things you need to change. It is internal solid infill and inner and outer walls. You could get away with just let's just say the inner wall. Let's say the outer wall is fine, and then you just slice it with the inner wall is smaller. Actually, you cannot do that because it doesn't have surface area. So depending on the settings, I think if you just want the solid infill to be smoother, you can leave it like this, and it will print pretty okay. For speed there, I would probably set internal solid to 10 just for that layer line, and then it will look really nice when it comes out of print. So I just wanted to talk about that, and hope that helped you if you have horrible looking first layers after interfaces when you are printing with supports. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe.